Coach, my last question for you. Do you feel like you got out of college football at the right time? Did retirement come at a good time for you with just how much the landscape has now changed? Is that one piece of adversity you're glad that you don't have to necessarily navigate through those new waters? Or is that like if you were entering into the college profession today, would that be an exciting new challenge to try and figure out the whole new recruiting world and everything else that's going on?
Yeah, that's a great question, Walter. I know. I know I made the right decision at the right time. It was the right time for me. And, as I've watched the new landscape, the NIL and the transfer portal and I still talk to coaches all the time, friends all over the country, and how miserable they are trying to navigate this new thing, because there are no rules basically to it. It's just, it's wild right now. And, no one really knows how to do it, how to contain it, how to make it what they originally wanted it to actually be for, and so it's, I'm glad I'm not dealing with it. It's not really something that I necessarily believe in the way it is right now. I do believe that the players being compensated in some way, I think they needed that. I really do. But I think it's not what it was intended for right now. I think it's totally out of hand. And so, I'm glad that I don't have to deal with it. I really don't. I really feel bad for the coaches that are dealing with it right now. And I feel for young coaches that are getting into it, I don't think they're going to be getting into the profession for the same reason that I got into the profession. And I don't know that I could still do the things that I would want to do in college football coaching, today that like I used to do. I don't know that I could drive people the same way I used to drive them. So, so it's really good for me to be out.
Money changes other motivations, right?
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
Different ways to motivate people now.
See, that's a part that really scares me is because I'm not convinced that the same life lessons are being learned with loyalty, commitment. If you're not good enough, working harder to get on the field at that one place versus just transferring somewhere else. The other thing that scares me is, what's the percentage of athletes that even go into the NFL? 2%? Less than 2%?
Yeah, it's less than 2%.
And then what? The average life expectancy is 2 years, maybe?
It's a little over 3, actually.
Okay, so if we take those percentages, and with everybody moving around, a lot of these players aren't getting their college degree, and 3 to 4 years later, they're out of a job. And if you don't have a college degree, now what's next? Because there's a lot of life living after that. And one of the things that just really scares me is I kind of wish it was like, hey, you stay and get your degree, and then we'll write you a fat check. Because then, you can still play football, but at least you're set for life now. And if we truly cared about the kids, I think that it needed to be a formula a little bit more like that. Because right now, I think it's going down a scary path. And as Coach, as you mentioned, the unintended consequences.
Yeah, I would be surprised if this is what they intended it for. I really would. It is scary. Each generation, we want things better for the next generation. And so we work really hard to make things easier for them. I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to do things. I think, we get softer and softer every generation that goes by because we're dealing with less hardships. I think if you look back, you already acknowledged the broken leg that you had. You look all those hardships and all the adversity that you overcome to get to where you are in life. It's what makes you who you are. It's what's inside of you. And that's the man that you become because of the hardships you had, not because things were easy for you, And so, I don't know that giving these young men some money is a bad thing. I just think that there has to be some limits on it. It's out of hand right now. Because you think about it, these young men now think about the financial part of it. They're learning how to manage money now, where a lot of young people never have that opportunity. So that they're getting the opportunity to at least learn that. Whether they do or not, hey, that's up to them. But they at least have that opportunity. And so there could be some really good things that come out of this. We just don't know.
I'm glad Coach brought that all together, that we finally brought up investing or money on the show. But it goes to say we need to start teaching personal finance in schools as well, because it's probably one of the most important things you deal with in life, and we don't do a good job of teaching anyone how to do those things.
Yeah, I think you'll find that you've got personnel on every staff now that are player development. And probably every Division I coach out there is at least trying to put things in place for young men. I know we had a plan that these guys had to learn as freshmen, they had to learn as sophomores, they had to learn as juniors, they had to learn as seniors. And it was basically, it had nothing to do with education other than, okay, how do you get a credit card, and showing them that process and what is a credit card and what does it mean and how do you handle it, and, just different life lessons that I think that you'll be surprised. A lot of football coaches are actually trying to help in that area also, because they know they need it.